Imagine if you lived in a world where there were only kids outside.
I would stay inside.
There were no adults to take care of the children. You were the oldest people alive. Actually, do you think that we're now so old that Tsukasa wouldn't revive us?
He revived those like big ass fucking bodybuilders who aren't
I,
fucking teenagers.
yeah, they're definitely not teenagers, so clearly his, thing is a shaky to begin with, but still, like, do you think he would look at our stone statues and be like, "You gross, no"?
That depends if like I don't think I look that old. Um, but maybe.
But do you look like old money?
What do you mean? Old? I have no old money.
I don't know. That's what he keeps bringing up. It's like we have to get rid of the old money, so we're going to kill all the old people because that's how that works, right?
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. The. Oh, we should get into that now. Fuck that. Yeah. He doesn't know how anything works. He's stupid. He's a fucking
Yeah.
teenager who like took one psychology class or took like one fucking politics class.
I really tried to set you up with a solid cold open there by relating it to Dr. Stone,
I,
and you were like, "Let's talk about that later." And I'm like, "Okay, that
well,
was my
fuck. I
cold
forgot the
open right
first
there."
rule of improv.
All right, well, this is a failure of an experience,
Man,
but
fuck you. My name's
what
Eric.
else is new?
Brandon,
This is
fuck!
agency. Wow! Holy shit, 2 for 2s. This is the second week in a row you've done that.
Oh my god, I don't know who I am anymore.
So yeah, I guess if we're going by not used portions of our real names, I'm James, but in reality, I'm Nick.
And I'm Brandon. This time for real.
Yeah, he figured out who he was in that silence.
Whatever. Well, let's talk about fucking Tsukasa's dumb views.
Yeah. He knows who he is, but who he is a fucking idiot, so doesn't matter.
Not that I disagree about the old money stuff. Completely agree with that. But like the connections he made about the old money being tied to just old people makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Just because someone's old doesn't mean that they come from old money. And
Ignoring the fact that, like, because we're, whatever, 3,700 years in the future, and
money makes no
all
fucking
of the banks are gone,
yeah. At this point, like everyone starts off at zero again.
like, old money doesn't exist. You can't just be reborn and be like, well, I was rich back then, so I need to be rich now. That's how this works, right?
Although his view is like about greed, and he feels that he doesn't want to unstone greedy people,
Mhm.
and that's what he's equating with the old money stuff. Once again, there's that disconnect where he just believes all old people are greedy.
Yeah. In Tsukasa's mind, he literally is a, like, 18-year-old who's taken one policy or one politics class, because in his mind, the greatest form of government is communism. Where he's like, nobody gets to own anything. We're just going to have the government own everything and give it to everybody equally. It'll be perfect. It can't possibly fail.
We don't know if he wants that just yet. We know that he wants to like control everything.
Well, he doesn't want anybody to own the land, for sure, because he has a big problem with, like, from the moment we were born, old people told us they owned every square inch of the world, so nobody gets to own anything now.
Ah, yes, I forgot that part.
So he's really going for, like, a communal sense of ownership of things, so. But we'll see if his policy, evolves at all. I don't think so. The war will probably be over before Tsukasa shows any amount of character development, but whatever. And then we got, I guess, because Japan doesn't have, like, the historical connection to slavery that America does, they got away with the thing that would not be okay in America, where the girl was like, yeah, I have to, like, give away money to other people to, like, live places and buy food. It's basically slavery. And it's like, no, bitch, if you're getting paid, you're not close to slavery. Slavery is you work and get shit living conditions and don't get paid. That's slavery. You getting paid for things is the opposite of slavery.
Wait, do you have a currency system?
Well, she was talking about, like, back in the old days, back in her previous life, where she worked a job and got paid and then had to give other people money to, like, pay rent and buy food and things like that.
I would have liked her to say, like, yeah, I got paid jack shit because, fucking no one cares about me. That makes a bit more sense. But, yeah the whole relation to slavery.
Or if you'd even gone, like, I also had a problem with, like, the fact that she was like, yeah, I had to pay other people money for things. It's like, yeah, that's how the world works. People don't just give you things for free, you pay them in goods or services. That's what money represents. So like it doesn't suddenly change now that we're in the stone world. If you'd been like, yeah, the government was taking taxes out of me, it was basically extortion, I could understand that. That's a common enough viewpoint, and I sort of vaguely understand like what you're thinking there. The I have to pay people money for rent thing, that's how the world still works in the stone world. Now it's just, you sleep with those dudes so they'll give
No,
you pieces of their pig.
we don't know that yet, Nick.
I mean, we don't know that yet, but I would not be surprised. It is the world's oldest profession.
We even monkeys do it. Little capuchin monkeys.
Oldest profession.
Just give them some grapes. Wait, no, it wasn't grapes. It was actual coins.
No, it's actual coins.
Yeah.
It was technically seashells. They taught them the value of seashells.
Seashells? I thought it was. Oh, well, okay.
I think
Regardless,
it was seashells.
I don't think it was seashells. I think it was just like
They repeated
coin.
the study several times with food and seashells and possibly real money.
It wasn't
The
real
studies
money. It was just
repeated.
like a metal disc.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I
even
mean, the
clay
study's
disc.
been repeated by like
Yeah.
several different groups in several different variations.
Anyways, yeah. So we have that whole thing going on with Tsukasa. He talks to white-haired kid, the guy's name, guy with the twirly spear.
Yeah.
Because in the stone world, that's the best fucking weapon ever.
All time. You could beat
Yeah.
10 men. Although I could kind of understand him beating 10 men because they were unarmed. I was like, okay, maybe that kind of makes sense.
Well, no, he actually only beat 4.
Yeah, he did only beat like 4.
And
But
we
like
also
that
find out
kind of
that
made
they're
sense where I was like, they don't have spears. He has a spear. Like, okay, I can kind of get that one.
also the mental facilities are kind of like worse than white-haired kids.
Yeah. We've already seen that their best idea is a full frontal attack, so they probably didn't change up their strategies and do something clever there. They pretty much just all charged in one at a time like dumb enemies. Yeah.
Taking the term "ma" very literally.
Yeah.
On top of that, Tsukasa and white-haired kid talk about Malthusian, some Malthusian theory, where they were talking about how the world's going to become overpopulated, which
Well, okay, not exactly. It was that in the current state of like we don't have, like farms and like the food production to support people,
yeah,
we can't revive everybody now. And like I kind of understand that. Like it kind of makes sense.
yeah, that part makes sense. But I'm very sure prior to that, they did talk about how the old world was becoming overpopulated.
Oh, did they?
I think
I
so.
might have not been paying
That's
attention.
what I think that's what like got them on the track about how they can't
Revive people
reconstitute
now.
everyone. Yeah.
Okay. What white-haired kid did talk about like there needs to be a culling of people, and I was like, okay, let's calm down here.
Yeah. That's the fucking the Thanos theory that people seem to like for some fucking reason, even though it makes no fucking sense.
It makes literally zero sense, but whatever. Yeah, he decided to go all Adolf Hitler with like, we need to have a final solution. But yeah, I got very understandably distracted in the middle where Tsukasa was like, yes, we'll live in this perfect utopia where there's no science. And
Where
it's like,
people
okay,
die of mosquito bite.
yeah, like you don't understand what science is if you think we could just have a utopia of like we won't have science. That's like saying we won't improve at all. We will do literally nothing different for the rest of our lives.
See, instead of killing each other with guns, we're gonna kill each other with sharpened sticks.
Exactly. Fuck indoor plumbing and all of the conveniences of modern life that we already know about. We're going to try to adapt into none of that.
I would like to see Senku and the gang not actually fight the Tsukasa posse, but instead just make them infight and then kill each other while they're off in the corner just eating ramen.
Realistically, here's what you can do. Just shit in their water, have them all contract dysentery, and then win the war by default.
Boom, biological warfare.
That's how you win this war right now. Tsukasa is so like hellbent on like we can have no science, literally any amount of biological warfare, you can win this war by default. I mean, they probably won't because it's super dark, but like realistically, you absolutely could do that.
Yes.
But yeah, they talked about science. Oh, and then in like the greatest moment when Tsukasa was like shitting on Senku, he's like, I can't quite call him a friend, but somebody I used to know, one of those privileged people of the old world. I was like, bitch, like you don't even know Senku. I'm pretty sure he was adopted. Like
Well,
he came from nothing.
He was adopted. 2, they were together for like a week.
Yeah.
And
they had
also,
so little
Tsukasa
money.
wanted to be his friend.
Yeah, Tsukasa wanted to be his friend, and his parents had his one parent, his pretend dad, had so little money, he sold his car to give Senku the science equipment that he needed to do his experiments. Like, they were not rich people at all. But he's like, he was super privileged. He was a member of the old world, all of that old money. I'm like, dude, you don't know shit.
His
You were
dad,
so
his dad was a professor
yeah,
at a community college. I don't know about that part, but
a single dad.
yeah,
He was a single dad professor at some sort of like local college. Oh my god,
we don't even know his tenure.
yeah, I was kind of peeved about that one because I'm pretty sure we've seen from Senku's characterization like he was not rich back in the old days.
Tsukasa's not getting mad at the correct bootlickers.
Exactly. Um, but yeah, so Tsukasa, I could kind of understand that. Like Gen's seeing it through the lens of Gen is the only thing that kind of made it make sense to me. Where he was like, yeah, he's just like a charismatic dude who everybody likes. So even though his theory is half baked, because he's likable, people are just willing to accept it.
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay,
that's how it works.
yeah, like that's believable enough. Like I don't really usually think about it. Like I get so caught up in like I understand that this is stupid that I guess if you don't really want to like if you're in a life or death situation and somebody strong and charismatic is like, hey, here's my stupid idea. You're like, I don't want to die, so sure, I'll accept that as fact.
At least at this point, though, like grouping up and helping each other, that's probably the better solution than just running off into the woods by yourself.
Yeah, especially the fact that like I'm pretty sure if you just resurrected a random person today, they probably couldn't survive in the woods by themselves with like nothing.
No, I'd be dead almost immediately.
Yeah,
I would eat
would
a
last,
mushroom and die.
Yeah, I would last less than one day. It would absolutely be like some sort of poisonous mushroom or poisonous berry that would get me. 100%. Wouldn't even die like fighting a bear or something. Would absolutely be food.
And then we can I guess let's switch focus now to the science kingdom.
Okay,
Kingdom
yeah.
Science, right? Yeah. That's basically
Kingdom
all we have
Science.
to talk about for the Tsukasa Empire.
Hmm. But we got to see them. We got to see what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, we also got to see Yuzuriha and the other guy at the end
Kaiju?
of this episode. Yep.
Yeah.
So they'll finally be coming back.
Yeah. After we build cell phones, that'll be a multi-episode endeavor.
But the Kingdom Science
yeah.
gets attacked by the Empire. The Empire, this attack, this full frontal assault is actually, a plan to get this pink-haired chick with some pink clothes, because I guess she just wanted to wear pink, to just light everything on fire, because they have, huts made of small, like, little wood sticks and straw. So everything's on fire. Everything fucking sucks. They fucking bail, and as they're running away, Suika kind of starts to, hatches a plan to, give this Kingdom of Science some time, some breathing room to, get their bearings. So Suika starts running away, and it gets further and further into the mountain. Not her actual plan, it just happens to be that she goes to the mountain. Everyone tries to figure out where she is, and they find out that, that they've been going towards the mountain, and that there's this, like, wind coming from the mountain that's very foreboding. With the wind is going to, what they theorize that the wind's going to pick up the poisonous gas and, kill everything in its wake.
Yeah.
So they head on over to, save Suika, so she doesn't die. But this is actually something we mentioned last time, was that they were going to try to use that they should have used the poisonous air to basically kill the Tsukasa Empire, which is kind of what happens. It's not like they really try to do it. It just, it's convenient for them.
Right. But I mean, we did say, like, our original argument was they should have set up, like, their base at the hydrogen sulfide lake and basically had the guys run at them and then die because of the gas. So this time it was, Suika just sort of incidentally ends up in that area, and the wind of death sort of sweeps the hydrogen sulfide gas over them. But it did sort of play out kind of how we were hoping to see. If Suika had done it intentionally, we would have been almost entirely right.
Yeah. Well, my theory was that they were going to Bugs Bunny it and just have a sign that said Kingdom of Science up the mountain.
That would have been awesome.
I mean, they would have believed it. They're fucking idiots.
Yes, they absolutely would have believed it.
Whitehair would have been like, don't go up there. They're not there. You can see it from here. But the goons would have been like, oh, you can't tell us what to do. White-haired kid. Ugh.
white-haired, white-haired, nerdy-looking kid. Yeah,
We're only here to die. And die
we're
they did.
completely expendable.
Also,
But yeah,
that part pissed me off. Because he's trying to find out whether or not it's going to be like... He's trying to find out when it's safe to go down. So he's... So the smart thing to do is knock one down, see if it's okay. All right, wait a bit. Knock another down, wait a bit. Right? He knocks all of them down immediately. And if they all die, cool. It's not safe. How the fuck are you going to find out if it's safe now? You've run out of your fucking resources. This guy's an idiot. I hated him.
Yeah. He's clearly never played an RTS. He committed all of his resources way too early, is not generating any new resources, and is now supply blocked. He's an idiot.
He is up a tree with no way to get down. Yeah,
Literally.
He's up a creek with no fucking paddle.
Yeah. So, he's an idiot, and will probably actually stand up there for 10 billion seconds, because he's got no other option at this point. But yeah, they also... So in the burning of the houses, they also burned down the bridge to, what's-her-name's...
Oh yeah, the little other island. The back island.
Yeah, the little other island, the other temple. We never deal with that for the rest of the episode.
I guess it'll be brought up... Actually, no, because she appears at the hut, right?
I think so. But she just appears there. Like, they never deal with, like, how do we get them? Like, there's literally a scene where, like, Chrome is staring at her from the other side of the bridge, and he's like, oh, they burned down the bridge, we can't get to you. And then, like, she just shows up, like, 20 seconds later on the other side of the bridge. And I'm like, how the fuck did this happen? You did not at all cover, like, how you got her across that bridge, that burned down bridge. She just shows up on the other side. See,
at that point, like, if you're burning the bridge, I feel like there should be something about the bridge that, like, the consequence of burning the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular case, like, there was no consequence, so why even show it?
Yeah, exactly.
Very weird.
It was a weird decision. And, like, as they were burning the bridge, I was thinking about, like, okay, how are they going to be able to do this? Like, shoot an arrow across with a rope, and then, like, try and tie in, like, a rope bridge or something? And I was
maybe have it jump down.
Yeah, or I was like, yeah, like, could they climb down the side and have them swim to the shore? Like, I was trying to, like, think through, like, what could be the possible, like, ways to get to them. Maybe they had enough food where they were like, all right, you guys stay over there, just eat the food you've got, we're going to get to you in, like, 2 or 3 days, and, like, you'll be fine. I was, like, trying to think through it. She just shows up, like, 20 seconds later, and I was like, what the fuck? You just ruined, like, all of this. Like, you set up something that was, like, kind of like a cool thing you had to deal with, of, like, how to save that one girl, while also, like, having to deal with the fact that we could get attacked soon. Now you're just like, fuck it, who cares? She's just there. It wasn't a huge plot point, but I still wanted to see him, like, have to build a bridge or something.
Yeah, well, now we get to see him build a smartphone.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see how that goes.
So, yeah, we got to see the roadmap, and I actually paused it to read through, like, what they all had to collect. Most of it doesn't actually seem that hard. Most of it's just, like, minerals and shit. So they have to collect, like, gold and salt and some more acid for a battery. And there was some other stuff. But specifically, one of the things they have to make is vacuum tubes. They also have to make a circuit board, which is going to be real interesting. But I guess Senku has the technical know-how to do that. But yeah, they have to build a vacuum tube. I don't really feel like that's going to be realistically possible. Like, this is straying into one of those things where it's like, in the level of technology they have, I kind of don't feel like building a vacuum tube is, like, legit possible.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe building a vacuum tube, like, isn't as hard as I expect. But, like, I mean, making, like, a legit vacuum is you have to make a legit vacuum inside of that tube. Like, you have to evacuate the whole tube and then put in, like, the wiring and shit. Like, it's not easy. So we'll see how they go about it.
Yeah.
They do have, like, the fucking genius glass blower, so maybe it'll be possible, but we'll see.
He just sucks the air out. He's just really good at sucking. He just keeps on going.
With his old man lungs.
But
he's got real good technique, Brandon.
Yep.
It's all in the hand motions.
But that was Dr. Stone.
Glad I can still make myself laugh.
I was laughing on the inside.
I was laughing on the outside, and it was my joke, which means I embarrassed myself.
What a douche.
Yeah. I don't know why not laughing... Excuse me. Wow, I can't talk English. I don't know why laughing at your own joke is looked down on in, like, such the extent that it is.
I couldn't tell you. Because, like, sometimes they say something funny, and I find it funny, because I wouldn't have said it otherwise.
And like, I just don't know why. Like, unless everybody laughs, and then I feel like you can get away with it. Like, if you say something and then laugh at your own joke, and nobody else really laughs as much as you do, you're looked at like you're an idiot. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, you guys didn't find it as funny as me, but like, I still found it funny. That's why I said it.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I feel like I shouldn't be a jackass for laughing at my own joke. I don't know. Apropos of nothing, this just made me think of that. Um, but laughing at my own joke aside, let's move on to whichever one we talk about next. I think it's Babylon.
It is Babylon.
It's Babylon. There is no way to connect laughing to Babylon because this episode was
Dark.
dark.
Oh, shit. Much of this episode was centered around characterizing I, and quite literally investigating her and finding out more about her.
Yeah.
All while we get some more details into the relationship between our main character and the assistant. Because they got a couple of moments together. I think halfway through.
We can now be, like roughly halfway or like 3/4 away.
And we're also sure that she is not I.
Yeah. She is definitely not Linda McCartney, who is absolutely Linda McCartney now because she ruins people's lives, apparently. But yeah, so we start off going off to, it was not an autopsy report, it was some sort of like medical or psychological evaluation form conducted by her uncle, who has a practice off in not this city, basically. So our prosecutor and his assistant go off to basically interview this psychiatrist about I to figure out more about like who she is and if she is capable of convincing people to commit suicide. So they get there and have a conversation with them where basically it starts off a little bit weird and a little bit all over the place.
Gets even weirder.
Yeah. But eventually we get down to like, he talks a little bit about like how I is connected to his family and his brother adopted her and all this other stuff. I don't feel like the connection to his family is going to be super relevant. But what is relevant is when she was in middle school, which is 8 years ago, which means that I's younger than us, dude.
I mentioned that. She's a year younger than me.
Did you? Okay, yeah.
No, like canon, she's exactly a year younger.
Oh, that's right. You did mention this.
We share the same birthday.
Yeah. Dude, she's younger than us. It's weird.
Only a year.
We're getting old. Yeah, but next year's going to be 2 years.
Well,
dude, we're getting old.
Come on, anime characters run young.
I know, but still. Anyways, yeah, so when she was in middle school, the psychiatrist, was contacted by both I's father,
I's adopted father, and the school teacher, principal, someone like that.
Yeah, to conduct psychological evaluations of some middle school boys and then also I.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in response to an incident. And we only ever really hear of it as an incident. We don't really ever know what the incident was, as far as I recall.
I don't know if there's an actual event. It's just something that the incident may have been those all 7 boys coming up and saying, "Hey, this lady did weird things to us."
Yeah, and like it may have just been like they all had a breakdown at the same time or something. Like it may have not been like a huge event. It may have just been like individual minor events that happened like way too close to each other to be a coincidence. But anyways, the school decides we need to like evaluate these people. Mm-hmm. So the kids, one at a time, all of the boys get evaluated by the psychiatrist, and they all say that they were raped by I,
mm-hmm.
but that they were never actually touched by I. That in just something about her, the way that she is, they felt like they had been violated by her, but none of them could put it into words. And then the psychologist or the psychiatrist meets I.
Yes.
And he is consumed by her. And so in that moment of seeing I, God, it got real weird here for a while. It was a little bit like in like that whole scene where they're talking to the psychologist, all I could think of is the new designation for fucking kitty fiddlers, where it's what is it? Minor attracted people or minor attracted persons?
What?
MAPS.
That's the first thing I'm hearing about it.
Oh yeah, I've heard about it a few times now. It's super fucking weird. It's some like, I don't know if it's like an official designation or just something that like kitty fiddlers came up with to like rebrand themselves, basically.
What kitty fiddlers came up with.
Yeah. They had to rebrand themselves. But yeah, they fucking call themselves minor attracted people. And like the whole time he was talking, all I could think of was that phrase. And I'm like, God, you're just fucking gross, dude.
But to be fair, he does mention that like he also felt fucking gross.
Yeah. Although it was a very poignant scene of he looks directly at the camera and is like, this is super fucked up.
Yeah,
You
like
should not be feeling this way.
he runs away because of it.
Yes. But yeah, he is immediately sexually attracted to I the first time he meets her.
Mm-hmm.
And in a relatively short conversation, he comes to feel that he is not just attracted to her, but that she basically just owns him, like
Yeah.
controls everything about him, sort of consumes his soul type of, full body experience. And nothing ever like physical happens between them. Like they just have a conversation and he feels violated and gross because of it. Because of both his age and the fact that they're family and everything about the situation, he just feels like he's been violated and he is disgusting because of this. And then, like an idiot, he decides that I needs to go in for therapy with him so that they can spend more time together because he is attracted to I and he can't let her go.
Mm-hmm.
And so for half a year, he trains her how to be better at what she already is. She, in his, like,
Was
in
that
that
was that what
therapy,
happens? Okay, I just thought he
basically,
talked to her.
that's
I
the thing,
must.
though. Like, he talks specifically about the fact that she wants to get better at being able to connect to people
Oh,
and,
oh,
like, how to relate, like, how to have conversations with them better because, like, she has this raw charisma, but she doesn't know how to refine it at that time. And
yeah, because
so
she was described as shy.
yeah. And like the people that she interacts with, they are immediately consumed by her. And so they have a hard time connecting, like talking with her. And she has a hard time talking to them. And so like she doesn't know how to focus the energy that she has. What I'm imagining happened is this guy trained this girl basically on accident. He taught her how to become what she is
How
now.
to be a better sociopath.
Yeah. She has become Linda McCartney because she makes, like the doctor says it basically, she makes people so satisfied just by talking to them that they give up hope. Like these kids no longer feel like they need to do anything because they have met Linda McCartney, aka I. She consumes your entire existence just by her presence. And he has trained her how to be a better sociopath over the course of that 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, at the end of the 6 months, she walked out of therapy and never came back, and she is now quite possibly convincing people to commit suicide.
Out on the streets.
Yeah.
Well, we know she convinces. Well, actually, we don't see her convince one
Yeah,
person.
we still don't see how she does it. We just see people be near her and then commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And much like the prosecutor, we're also convinced that she's the one doing it. Like it makes sense for her to be the one convincing them, but we've yet to actually see how she does it.
Yes. That's the end. At the end of this episode, we get a call, and the guy who was tracking her down, or who tracking Itsuki down, and then told to switch focus to I, is there, standing behind her, and she's on the phone, basically teasing the prosecutor, and telling him like how she wants to be a hero, but like she can't really be that hero that she wants to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then makes the guy. Well, he doesn't make it. He doesn't. She doesn't make the investigator walk into the road and get fucking nailed by a truck and then go to fucking isekai world.
Yeah.
But he does it anyway.
Uh-huh.
And that's the end of our episode.
Yeah. We
But-
just see them standing like back to back in
Yeah.
the median, and then as she says goodbye to the prosecutor, we just see the guy in the background booking it across the freeway, and then he gets nailed by the truck.
Mhm.
So like we never see her in any way indicate to the guy to do anything. They never touch. They never even talk. But
But from what we
it's,
see,
yeah, from what we see, it's implied that because he's calling the prosecutor on that guy's phone
Yeah.
too. So she somehow got that guy's phone, and then that guy committed suicide and died with a smile on his face.
yeah, that's
And
another
like,
important part was that he was smiling.
mhm. So we still don't know how she does it, but we're so convinced she's doing it.
Which it'd be an interesting twist if she wasn't actually doing the one doing it.
Yeah.
But at the
I
very
mean,
least, we know that she's very charismatic.
hmm And it does go back to, I mean, there's so many like threads of what could be going on. Like yeah, we're told in this episode, I is super charismatic, but we were also told about the suicide drug before, and like the suicide drug may be encouraging people to commit suicide, and maybe I is just doling out the suicide drug.
Yeah, the drug might give you like a euphoric sense before you die as well.
Yeah, so we don't really know what's going on there, so that'll be interesting. And then we also have a debate between the mayor and anybody who wants to debate with the mayor, which, in my opinion, if you want to talk about what you expect, go ahead. But in my opinion, this is a horrible decision.
To what? Oh, for the mayor to do this or not?
Yeah, for the mayor to do this.
I think he has a plan, and it's gonna work. Just because he's the villain and the villain like needs to keep winning until the very end,
Uh,
he's gonna find a way to make it work. The
oh,
good guys
yeah.
can't win,
Yeah,
but like I don't know how they're not gonna win.
right.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that's the thing is, like,
But that's getting very like
from a
meta narrative
story
about
perspective,
things.
from a story perspective, it makes sense for him to win. But from, like, a reality perspective, if I was going up against him in a debate, I just wouldn't engage him on the suicide thing. I would just argue like the politics of everything else. Like, what are your plans on taxes? What are your plans on schools? What are your plans on waste,
Well,
healthcare?
the
Like,
debate
just
specifically about the suicide law.
well, he said you can talk about anything because even people who are
Oh,
on the same side as him can come and debate with him. He just wants to have a debate.
oh, never mind. That's fun, stupid.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you should just debate him on his other policies, just attack him on those, not even bring up the suicide thing, and just have people support you for that, and be like, that guy's crazy. I'm going to support this other dude who has good policies. Like, don't even bring up the suicide thing, just attack the other things. But they're not going to do that. Obviously, they're going to talk about the suicide thing because the story needs it to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the debate in the actual story.
Like I said, I said this like before we were started recording, but I believe that he's gonna have I be the one debating his side because
Uh-huh.
anyone can do it, anyone can be there, and she's
Uh-huh.
gonna be there.
Do you think he's not going to show up and just have I there, or do you think he's also going to have I show up?
I do not know. I am confident that I will show up. I don't know if he's gonna show up or not.
Okay.
I have no clue. My guess is no, because he hasn't shown up since, and I think he may or may not be alive. I think he's
I
already
think
dead.
they just
I think he
I
might
think
be
they
already
just
dead.
recorded a whole bunch of stuff, and we're like, yeah, this is good enough.
Yeah, like I think he like had a plan. He's having I like just go through with the motions, and he's just already dead because that's what he wanted.
Okay, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. But another thread to talk about is the kendo. It's kendo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the kendo match that we see with the prosecutor and Big Boss Man, and then the prosecutor with assistant lady.
Yes.
Which both were like, for how short they were, they looked really well animated. Like it was very fluid. I felt.
Yeah, it was.
Looked really nice.
It was really well done. The strokes were like really. They had like a, like a fluidness to them that it made the actual like combat seem very tense for like how brief it was.
Yeah, because they're all just they were each a couple like just 3 seconds long.
hmm but yeah, we see the first one between the big guy and the prosecutor.
Prosecutor loses.
Where, yeah, the prosecutor loses, but it's sort of more of like a closer match of the two of them. Kind of, the first strike was like a sword to helmet, and then like a body blow, and then like a crossed swords kind of thing, more of a standoff. And they're both shown as like pretty decent fighters. We don't hear what rank the big boss guy is, but we hear that the prosecutor is like a particularly skilled first dan kendo, not player, practitioner, I guess.
Yeah, sportsman player.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that I can't think of the
Competitor?
right word. Yeah, sure, a competitor. He's a first dan competitor.
Mm-hmm.
But then our assistant steps up, who we find out at the end is a fourth dan competitor,
And just beats his ass.
yeah, she just wipes the floor with him. She basically just takes him to church on
God, I love
all
this
three
lady.
of their attacks.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when they kind of go back into the, kneel down, pretend sheath your sword, and like, bow and, good fight basically. he just slumps over sideways and is dead, tired. He's like, "Fuck, I got my ass whooped and
Yep.
I'm breathing hard." And she's just like, "Yeah, I'm not even sweating."
To be fair, he like did fight a couple times before.
He did, yeah.
But anyways, what's important after this scene is that she kind of opens up about how she feels about this investigation,
Hmm.
and that's the reason she kind of did it disliked the main character at the beginning is because she felt that she was going to be doing illegal things.
Uh-huh.
I think she not despises her uncle because her uncle is part of that like syndicate
Hmm.
that currently the prosecutor is helping by proxy of trying to get in jail and Itsuki in jail as well because he's got a very strong moral compass. But we see here that now that they know exactly what they're doing, this is lady is kind of more comfortable with the investigation.
Yeah.
But we also learn that the prosecutor, our main character, doesn't actually feel that she should be comfortable because they will be doing illegal things
Yeah.
eventually.
Um, because his sort of moral sense of justice is doing what it takes to do good, which may
Yes.
not always be doing things that are legal.
Mm-hmm.
But it was interesting that we saw I at the very end of this episode because the assistant asks him a question, which is, what does justice mean to you?
Yeah.
Which is the same question that I asked him during their interrogation.
Ah, that's what it was. I felt that was similar.
Yeah.
Something ticked in my head.
And it was like one of those things where, like, last week we talked about, is the assistant I undercover, because we've seen that she can change her face
Which
and
is
her
not now.
hairstyle and all that. And we see I, and it's like implied to not be, or not implied, it's basically almost told to us that they're not the same person. Like, I was out there on the media and talking to the prosecutor over the phone. And like, I just don't know anymore. Like, even though we saw her, like, I wouldn't put it past the show to like still have the assistant just be I.
Have like some sci-fi stuff going on.
Yeah. Or like just have it be like a recording that got played. Like they just had the phone set up next to a laptop or something. I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure because I'm pretty sure what the show showed us was the truth, and that's that I was there in the meeting at the same time as the phone call.
Hmm.
Um, I see no reason why that would be completely false.
Just to fuck with our heads.
It could be, but like the show hasn't done that yet, and I don't think I don't think they would do it.
It's true. There's nothing that's been like inherently. The show hasn't shown itself to be
Yeah, like
unreliable yet.
yeah, it hasn't lied to us at all yet.
Uh
Whatever
huh.
we see is usually what it was actually happening.
Yeah.
If it's like if we're in that third person kind of viewport, if it's
Mhm.
someone telling a story, then that can be their story. It could be false. I don't know.
Yeah. The characters can be unreliable, but the picture, like the image,
Yeah.
if it's a real image of what's supposed to be really happening, it is really happening.
Hmm. I think that the assistant lady is just a good person. Like she's just a good guy. She's just trying to she's just doing her job.
Yeah,
Doing her job.
you're probably right. They are probably not the same character, but God, what a twist it would be if they were.
Yeah. I think that whole why she asked is important because like she also has like a strong sense of justice. I feel like
Hmm.
so she's just trying to find out, and the fact that did ask that is supposed to be kind of telling. It's just supposed to like have a little parallel between her and I.
Yeah.
Also, the way they asked it is kind of different.
Hmm.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
If
And
she's
at the
fucking
end
awesome.
of I's phone call, we kind of get the sense of, or at least I got the sense of why I was so obsessed with the prosecutor is he is, to her, the only person she can't break.
Yes, that because that's something I was wondering about. Like during the interview, like why didn't he feel like those same feelings that those kids did and that the psychiatrist did?
Uh-huh. I think it's to do with his like absolute moral compass.
Yeah,
Is like she just can't
like he is
overcome
married
that.
and will do nothing to end that marriage.
Yeah. And like has a sense of this is right, this is wrong, this girl is absolute evil, like he
Yeah.
said. So she can't corrupt him. Although it does sort of bode ill for his character of he may get absolutely broken and we may see I corrupt him near the end.
Yes. Someone commented that what's going to end up happening, or what may end up happening, is that his assistant who I would assume I don't know. They assumed that women aren't affected by I. It's like maybe I don't know. Who knows?
No, there
Uh,
were women on the building.
oh right, they were.
Assuming that everybody was affected by I,
Yeah,
there were women on that building.
there were women on that building.
We don't know that the women. We don't know that those people were affected by I yet, because they're more right now. The investigation team is looking into Itsuki as the person who abetted the suicides off the
Yes.
building. But so, assuming women aren't affected by I, what's going to happen? What was the prediction?
That she was gonna have to kill the prosecutor because
The
he becomes
assistant was going
crazy.
to have to. Okay,
Yeah, that the office assistant would have to kill main character.
interesting. Well, according to the poster, isn't she supposed to blow her brains out?
Get her head off.
Oh, right, the other guy,
The other guy
the
blows his brains
police
out.
officer.
Well, I don't know if he blows his brains out. It's just that his brains get blown out.
Right, that's the prediction.
Mm-hmm. So we'll actually see what happens. And to get the whole breaking thing, he like has pieces of himself missing in that poster. Not superimposed, but like covered up by eyes image.
Uh-huh. All right.
We'll see what happens. I like the show. It's really cool.
It is really cool. I like the mystery. I wish that we got to see more of the mystery this week. It was kind of more of like an investigation thing and finding about an eye episode, but dude, it's really fucking cool.
I think next episode's gonna be more politics and stuff because we'll be, figuring out. We'll be finding out what's going on with the whole debate.
Uh-huh.
So we'll see how that goes.
We have to wait 7 more episodes before this is over, and I get to finally know the whole mystery.
Maybe not.
This is the mark of it's better than Boogie Pop in my mind right now. 'Cause, like, it's the most recent thing that I can kind of compare this to in
Yeah.
terms of like style and everything. Boogie Pop, largely, I never really cared what the resolution was gonna be. I just sort of episode to episode enjoyed the plot, but I wasn't like anticipating
The
what
end
is
of
the
the arc,
resolution.
right?
Yeah. Like it just sort of the arcs happened and I enjoyed them, but I didn't really want to be like, I want to get to the end. Like I want to know it all. With Babylon now, I'm just like, I want to know it all. Just give it to me all at
What
once.
the fuck is happening?
Shoot that shit straight into my veins. Like I just want to know everything. I just want to see it all at once.
Well, much like how I is a female sociopath, we get to talk about another sociopath, Reporter Girl from Oresuki.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're skipping Kai's Hero because I forgot to watch it.
Yeah. Brandon's a fucking idiot.
I am an idiot.
Because Brandon read on the internet that is from some random commenter that it was taking a bye week, did not at all fact check that, and just blindly accepted it as truth.
I'm pretty sure I saw one of the episodes on Horrible Subs when I was looking through it. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right, we'll talk about the episode of Cautious Hero next week.
Yep. So Oresuki. In this episode, we essentially find out what we get the mystery uncovered of who the reporter girl actually is, and as it turns out, she's Dennis Reynolds, trying to go through the steps of the Dennis system. First, demonstrate value. She was demonstrating value to Joro by this first step actually has me kind of in a bind. What was her demonstrate value moment?
I would say her demonstrate value moment was going to be she wasn't doing the Dennis system in order in this case because her demonstrate value system or her demonstrate value point was both going to be her ability to like step in and help him practice, and it was going to be trying to like redeem his reputation at the end of this whole thing. Like it was going to be like a full focus sort of like, show to him I have some importance. You could also say it was some part of like their friendship before the arc started.
Yeah.
Like they knew each other from their class before. She may have been demonstrating value then, and we weren't paying attention to it.
If we are going with D being has to be the first step, I think it's her like being more friendlier to Joro at the beginning of like episode 4-ish, where she gets introduced.
Yeah,
she's already kind of blushing and flirting at that point.
Before the whole paper thing starts, she sort of is trying to become like a very obvious like friend connection to him
Yeah,
in the
like
classroom setting.
she is there, and throughout the episode, she's also demonstrating value by not publishing the bad story for him,
Yeah.
and that leads into E, engage physically, because now he has no longer has a dance partner, so she decides to step in,
Hmm.
hence engaging physically in the art of dance.
Both as his practice partner for the last week, and now this week when the need arises, stepping in as his emergency partner.
Mm-hmm.
So she will engage physically with him by dancing together.
And both our next ends both kind of coincide: nurture dependence and neglect emotionally. She doesn't actually neglect emotionally like herself. It's more by proxy. Because of her plan, now no one is talking to Joro, and because of that, she can now nurture dependence by making her the only person who will actually engage with our main character.
Hmm.
Which brings us to our I. Oh my god, I forgot what I is.
Inspire hope.
Inspire hope. Yes, inspire hope. Now that at the end of the week, everything's coming back, he's gonna go do the dance. He finds out that he cannot dance with Sun-chan because this school is full of a bunch of homophobes.
Uh-huh.
Justice for Sun-chan, but that's beside the point. She now inspires hope. She will be the third girl to dance with him. She will be, his. And that's when it all comes crashing down, when Cosmo shows up and destroys her plan. And tells her, hey, let's meet. I want to talk to you. Joro's like, he doesn't understand what's going on, despite the fact he's done this multiple times. He's a master. I don't know if he's mastered the dentist system, but he's studied it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And he's completely blind to what was going on this entire time.
Yeah.
But he's trying to defend her. But Cosmo says, hey, if you want Joro to be there, he can be there. But I want you to know it's a bad idea. So they all accept. They go into the president's little council room, and we find out what Asunaro was doing.
Yeah.
And it's basically being a complete bitch the entire time.
Yeah, pretty much. She is the worst plotter of all times because she sets up a whole sequence of bad decisions. She checks out the room key or the print room key with her own name and then forges the document later. Like, just real basic shit to not do if you're trying to get away with some shit. But yeah, it basically comes to light that she has been intentionally manipulating it the whole time. We knew this from sort of scenes that we saw of her being manipulative and plotty in the background, but it all comes to light with Joro.
And also because we understand horror people.
Oh yeah, we also absolutely understood what was happening. But yeah, Joro finds out that she printed it on purpose and that she was trying to separate him from the school, and she was spreading rumors during lunchtime so that the first years would all hate him. I mean, she planned the whole thing. And yeah, now at the end of this, Cosmos and fuck, I forgot her name. Asunaro. They have like a little conversation about like, just because you try really hard in trying to have your love realized doesn't mean it's actually going to come true. Like, the best you can do is just shoot your shot and accept whatever happens.
And so, I guess to be fair to her, she does shoot her shot.
Yeah.
And then accept what happens.
So yeah, she looks at Joro and she's like, "I love you the most. Go out with me." And he just pretty much turns the table on her, gives her a pretty thorough lashing of like, "You were a bitch and I hate you, and you ruined Sun-chan because he fucking practiced all that, or he didn't get to practice all that baseball, and he practiced dancing instead, and then you fucking blabbed on him to the homophobic PTA, and now we're not dancing together. He's my best friend, bitch."
I wanted to dance with him.
So yeah, he's understandably upset about not being able to dance with his best friend. But yeah, so she goes off crying and basically says like, "I'm gonna print a retraction, don't worry." And she leaves, and in the meantime we see that Joro kind of did it just to save her from him, I guess.
From stuff? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't really understand what Cosmos was saying with like, "Oh yeah, you're such a nice person for being a jackass." I kind of I get it if the point was like, you had to be really harsh because she was a crazy person and you needed her to just not be in love with you anymore. I can understand that, and I respect the play.
I
But
was
like,
really hoping for like a quick little side where he's like talking in his head, and he just mentions and he just says to himself, "I'll pick her up later."
yeah,
Right? I really wanted that to happen.
we see the dentist system, and he goes, "Do, do, 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 do," and we see neglect emotionally. It just goes down one to inspire hope. He's like, that'll come next.
Yep. Like I was just waiting for that because that would have made him like him. That would have made me like him so much more.
Yeah,
If he knew what was going on this entire, that would have been the twist. Is he understood everything that's going on? It was just playing to it.
he was playing her, playing him.
Yep. It might come back. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, with her out of the picture for the moment, we then also get the dancing sequence where he dances with each of the girls, and it didn't really dawn on me, I don't think, until I actually watched the dancing thing. This is a weird fucking tradition, right?
It's kind of weird, yeah.
Like everything about this, it reminded me of. I don't know if I've ever told this story on ABC, but I think I've just told it to you before. It was like a school sanctioned event that happened when I lived in Florida.
Oh, of course it's Florida.
Yeah. And it was they gave all of the girls in the school necklaces.
Oh, would
And
they
the
choose
point
their
of
partner?
not exactly.
Oh,
So the point of the game was the girls weren't allowed to talk to any guys, but if they did, the first guy you talked to, you had to give them your necklace. And like at the time, I didn't really understand like what the point of this was. As I think back on it, I'm like, oh, so this is just a metaphor for giving away your virginity. I got it. But this is the weird thing is like if you now think about it in that context, the weird part was at the end of the day they called up whichever guy got the most amount of necklaces and like had a ceremony about it. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what lesson are we teaching people with this?
girls, you're all a bunch of sluts. Yo, that guy with all the gold chains, you're a fucking G.
You was straight up G. And like I think there was some like reward or something. Like you got like a gift card to something. And I was like, what is the lesson here?
So the lesson is
Like,
that if you're a manipulative man and make every woman give you shit, you're gonna win all the time.
yeah, you get rewarded. I was like, I feel like you're teaching kids the wrong lesson here, but you do you, Florida high school system. But yeah, this is a very similar premise of like, yeah, we're just gonna have one male student dance with three girls for no particular reason. We're just gonna have this happen.
There could be
So
some dumb like tradition thing about like
yeah,
there's like one kid who like grew three flowers or whatever. So now we have that one kid dance with these three girls. I don't fucking know.
yeah. I mean, you're
To be
probably
fair,
right.
it's less creepy than whatever real life thing happened at that fucking Florida school.
Oh yeah, that inspired the necklace thing. I didn't
Yeah.
even know if it was like a district wide thing or if it was just my high school that did this shit. But like, they did all kinds of weird shit, dude. Like this was not an isolated incident of like the one weird thing that they did like in the randomly one week in the middle of the year. Like they did weird shit all the fucking time.
It sounds like a Spirit Week thing.
It does sound like a Spirit Week thing, but it was not.
Oh, that's weird.
It was just like some random week in January. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this thing."
You know, it'd be
This
even
is-
weirder if it was during February. That'd be
they
very
did
on the nose.
they did run one in February, but it was the inverse for guys. There was not a ceremony for the girl who collected the most, though. It was very misogynistic.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
They're very obvious about that.
yeah,
Anyways, yeah, we get the three girls dancing with Joro. Apparently, we don't know if Sunflower Girl likes him. Chances are she now likes him. Cosmos likes him. It's very obvious now.
yes,
And then for Pansy, we always knew she liked him, so there's that.
Yeah.
So now he's actually getting his harem.
he is. He does not seem super jazzed about it. Is the weird thing.
Right? I was hoping he'd be like, yeah, perfect. 3 down, 1 more to go. And it cuts straight to the reporter girl.
It would be great if, like, while he was acting all like innocent, or not like innocent, but like shy about the whole thing, like, yeah, whatever, I don't really care about you girls. In the back of his mind, he's like, yes, continue to neglect them all emotionally.
All according to Kaikeku.
Exactly. But yeah, so he sort of dances with them all. They all have little conversations, and hopefully we'll get some more actual character interactions between them all next episode
Yeah.
because I
This
kind
one
of feel
was
like
very
this was a
light.
weak episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
his interactions with Pansy kind of remind me of, mostly just because she has black hair, the interactions between Sakuta and Mai in Bunny Girl.
Yeah. Except a little
Really,
bit meaner.
yeah, because he more overtly hates her than Sakuta did. Sakuta was more,
He was teasing.
yeah,
Sakusa was. Fucking Joro just doesn't like her personality. He
yeah,
likes everything else about her, though.
yes.
That girl was coming out, like, she was popping out.
Oh, absolutely. She was falling out of that dress in every direction.
Mm-hmm.
But she is now friends with the other three, and her life is looking up. Presumably, we will at some point get more of her backstory as to like why she can't look like that all the time. But that'll probably be for next episode or so.
I really just want the backstory to be. I just don't wanna.
I mean, it would be interesting, but that won't be what it is.
Yeah.
I just know it's not, but it would
Uh,
be interesting.
Whatever happens next, I believe it's gonna be the black-haired girl, and then not the black-haired girl we know now, but the black-haired girl with like the medium cut with the first year, because I think they're up next for whatever fucking thing is gonna go on.
Okay.
I think first year thinks that Joro is a terrorist, aka it's like a pun on slipper liquor or whatever.
Uh huh.
So we'll see what happens with that.
We may also get the gal classmate.
Oh, right. We might get her posse.
Yeah. So we may be collecting like 5 girls all at once.
No. Here's my hot take. She's a lesbian. She's trying to pick one of those 4 girls out. She's got her own harem to worry about.
That'd be legit. I would be down for harem wars. But yeah, so is there something else? Oh, so
Yes.
I read through a little bit of the chapter because like
All right,
I just
because there were some differences last episode, right? That
yeah,
you noticed?
there was a big one this time, and it was such a weird change because it was a change that was counter to the tone of the story, or not the story, but like the tone of the show.
Okay.
So we've talked about how the show is like kind of slapstick and like it's humor
Yeah.
with like the bedazzled slippers and the golf course on his desk to bully him,
So funny.
stuff like that. So like there was a change almost away from a slapstick humor moment in the manga that was very weird to me. Do you want to guess what they changed, or specifically which scene I'm talking about that was not from the manga originally?
Oh, okay, hold on. So you're saying the manga was more slapstick than the anime this time around?
Yes.
Okay. I do not have a guess.
Okay. It was the reason why Sun is not allowed to dance with him. In the manga, they're not homophobic PTA members. He gets food poisoning, and there's a shot of him and Joro talking while he's just posed on the can like, yeah, I cannot stand up right now. I am physically shitting my brains out.
That's an interesting change.
And it was very bizarre, because like, it was more of like a comedic slapstick thing of like, he was like they make like a joke about he ate like some day old manju that he got, and he got food poisoning because of it.
Oh,
Like there's this whole bit that they have him and Joro like talking from opposite sides of the door, and like Joro trying to rip the door open to get him, and Sun-chan holding it closed like, dude, literally you do not want to come down, you do not want to come in here right now, bad things are happening.
I have a guess why.
Okay, go for it.
Because the person who told the PTA about Sun-chan was Border Girl. It's just one more thing to pin her on.
They pinned the day old manju on her
Oh,
in
okay.
the manga.
Then I do not know.
Yeah, it was super bizarre. I don't know why they made that change.
I feel like if Joro had made like a side comment of like, "There's nothing weird about 2 dudes dancing with each other," I think I'd understand a bit more of why they made that change. Maybe someone like wanted to, because I don't know if that change isn't really like pro the homosexual community. It's more just like a thing. So I don't know. It's not anti either. So yeah, I don't think it's that.
It was just sort of like, it was just sort of a weird change to make. and I didn't really have like an idea of why they made the decision. It didn't really affect the moment either way, but it was just like sort of a weird decision to make.
So this story is an adaptation of a light novel, so we don't know what the true source did. It's entirely possible that once again the manga changed it, and then our anime is sticking to the light novel.
Yeah, that is true.
So yeah, who knows? Yeah, that's interesting. It's bizarre.
So either way, one of them changed it. Either the anime changed from the original two source materials, or the manga decided to make a change from the
Homophobic PTA.
Yeah. So either way, there was a change, but it was an interesting little, diversion from the plot line, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, so that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about with Orisuke.
Yeah, same
Is there anything else? All right.
We can move on to our Saturday morning cartoon, Iruma-kun. Let's fucking go.
Let's do it.
Oh, Iruma-kun. Basically, the quick rundown of this episode. We have one of our first classes with a different teacher where we have to grow a plant. Everyone grows a little plant and is kind of attuned to how they, kind of view the world and how they are as a person. So Chadwick, the demon, the flower he ends up blooming, is like this little fucking Venus flytrap monster thing that just bites everything.
Yep.
Asmodeus creates a fire plant that's on fire. The kid who always sleeps makes a little pillow. Clara makes some fucking abomination that's like an amalgam of 50 million fucking things.
Yeah.
Looks fucking whack.
The resident succubus makes like the love plant.
Yep.
Ice girl makes an ice flower.
The sword kid makes a little wind ball.
Oh yeah. It's some sort of like kamitachi ball, I guess, where like if you get close to it, it'll cut you up.
Ah, yeah. Okay, that's what it was.
And then
we get to Iruma, who doesn't.
Well, we also see Jazz's the money plant.
Oh, I fucking love Jazz. That's such a cool name. Like, what was his last name? Jazz.
Jazz Gimlet. I believe it's Gimlet.
Oh.
That also is possibly wrong. I might be wrong about that.
I don't think it's Gimlet. It's Jazz something else. But anyways, we get to Iruma-kun, but because he's a human, he doesn't actually have magic. So he doesn't believe
Andro Jazz. That's what his name is. Andro M Jazz.
Oh, that sounds kind of cool. But yeah, back to Iruma-kun. He doesn't think he can actually bloom the plant. But of course, the ring, we know, it sucks up magic, and this is a way to have Iruma, use magic in this world. So when he does the little Quan spell, it basically uses up all the magic that's stored in the ring and creates this huge ass fucking Sakura tree that destroys the tower they're in, and makes him like the star of the fucking of the school once again, because he just keeps failing upwards.
Yes.
And that's what our first half. We see him be a nice person again by helping out the cleaning crew. It's doing this thing that I find annoying, where it keeps telling us the premise of Iruma-kun's character, and it's getting kind of annoying.
It's kind of weird.
Like,
I don't know why they keep doing it.
Like, I think this happens every episode. Is this going to be our new Killing Bites thing? I think it might be.
It might be. I really don't want it to be. It's not as funny as the Killing Bites one is.
To be fair, the Killing Bites thing was only funny after the 9th time they did it.
It's true.
Because at that point, we realized they were going to keep doing it.
It got really funny once we started keeping track of how many times in a row. And then we started calling out weeks where it didn't happen.
There's
and
only
then
1
when
week.
they doubled up to cover back weeks,
Yeah.
It became like a whole thing.
Fuck, that show was a masterpiece.
It was not. Factually incorrect.
But anyways.
But regardless, we also get to see the fox.
Yep, we get to see the fox lady, who is really fucking tall once again. Like, she's fucking gigantic. But
yes.
Anyways, we see that she takes being a demon to the next level. She sees some roughhousers, breaking window. She slaps the shit out of them and says, "You're a shit ass demon. This is how you really do some roughhousing," and then breaks a wall.
Yeah. Despite being president of the school, she busts down a wall and then just walks away.
Like a fucking Chad.
I kind of wish that as she was walking away, she would have looked at one of her helper dudes and be like, "All right, get somebody to fix that wall."
Yeah, go clean it up. But
go fix that shit. It looks disgusting. Who did that?
She goes back to the little president's lounge thing. I don't know what to call it. The student
The
council room.
student council room.
Yeah, I thought of it right when I said it.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, she has a theory. And this episode is called Mary's Theory. That Iruma isn't the demon. You know, big brains on this chick. To be fair, she's actually the only one that knows, or that has this suspicion.
Yes.
That we know of. But the reason she thinks that he's not a demon is because she's got some books. She's got some literature that's been passed down generation through generation. And she has it hidden inside the student council room.
Uh-huh.
The moment she said, "I've got some books," was when I, like, for whatever reason, I immediately went to, she's about to pull out some fucking manga.
Did you know it was going to be shoujo manga?
I didn't think of it, but the moment, like, she opened the book, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be something very lovey-dovey. And I was kind of right, but I didn't think it'd be shoujo.
Okay.
I just knew it was going to be manga. But, like, in my mind, I just had black and white pictures, like, in nebulous black and white pictures. I didn't think, it's going to be, shoujo specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, she opens that shit up, and then it turns to fucking manga panels where she's just not really reading it because she can't read Japanese. She's just kind of looking at the pictures, and it's the standard girl, boy knocking to each other on the way to school.
Yeah.
And
the manga pretty much reads itself to us, the viewers.
Yeah.
But yeah, she can't read it because it is written in Japanese, and she can only read the demon language.
Yeah.
And as was explained to us back in episode 1, Aruma has this magic spell so that he can hear the demon language as Japanese.
Yep.
And people hear what he says as demon language.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So she has these books that she is hiding from everyone else that tell the story of the human world
human
in her
people.
mind. And the fact that they actually exist, because the existence of the humans is kept from most of demon populace. Despite the fact that the school song is literally demons should eat people and, consume their flesh and all this other stuff. Apparently, demons don't actually believe in humans. It's a little bit weird to have your school song after a mythical creature.
I mean, dragons.
Are there a lot of school songs that are like, dragons are fucking awesome, you should ride around in the sky?
Anyways? At least in America?
I think we technically had a school song.
Did Andale have a school song?
I kind of think we did. I don't think it ever got used, but I kind of think we technically had a school song.
Oh, Adam, we broke you and fucked up Japanese. Yay!
Yeah. That we never talked about, when Senku was trying to make the ultimate weapon. And
right.
Was like, so we're going to make nukes?
Nukes. Actually, he wasn't happy there'd be nukes.
Yeah, he was definitely not thrilled about the promise of nukes.
No, not again.
Understand. Nukes go real bad for the Japanese people every time.
That reminds me. There's actually that's 2,000 years in the future, so Fallout wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah, it likely would have half-lifed its way into livable pretty much everywhere.
Anyways, digressing back to Aruma-kun.
Yes.
The moment I saw like the manga that she was reading, I knew that it was going to happen to her. At least it was very obvious.
But we also get to see as part of her character that she is a gigantic pile of mush.
Yep, much like Maki in
Maki.
Yeah, Maki from Fire Force.
Yes.
She all just flowers up in the head.
Yeah, and we'll get to see her be flower-headed a few more times throughout the course of this, because with 25 episodes, I think we're going to get through a lot of the arcs, which is good. Because we will get to one of my favorite arcs. I'm pretty sure we're going to get to it because they've been alluding to it, where we've seen the door to the classroom called Royal One. And it is one of my favorite arcs.
Okay.
We saw it in like the episode, like the second or third episode. Okay. It was like a one-off thing of like they just looked at the door and they were like, the door to Royal One, and it's like this big door with all these like decorative locks and shit. It's a great arc though. Fucking love it.
Okay.
But hopefully we'll get there by the end because it's a great arc and I absolutely love it. But we will probably, if we get there, we will also see the president become even more flower-headed later. So we will get to see all aspects of her character. But for now, we have met the president and she has run into Aruma, reenacting the scene from her human manga that she's looking at the pictures of.
And has immediately fallen in love.
Yes, she has fallen in love, which then means she is absolutely now 100% convinced Aruma's a human, using his human magic to make him love her.
She's dennising me.
There we go. Yeah. she now, yeah, because she feels something in her heart area. She's like, I feel feelings. He must be a human. The only explanation.
And
So
credits.
credits.
Yep.
So yeah, he's gonna get kidnapped by the president so that she can do, bad things to him.
Wait, what?
Not joking.
Oh,
It's a Saturday morning cartoon, Brandon. Please.
no, I could see her kidnapping him for a little bit, but not the second half part.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um. Realistically, though, when she did tuck the first chapter of the manga into her jacket as she was like walking out of the room, when knowing that the bump into each other moment was coming, I was full on expecting because this doesn't actually happen.
yeah,
I was
it's a
full
fallout.
expecting the manga to fall out, and he'd be like, "Hey, I read that."
Actually, I was thinking that too, that it was gonna fall out, but it ended up not doing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
which makes sense because yeah, she doesn't actually bring that book with her. She puts it back, and then they interact like on a different day. I'm pretty sure
Okay. No, it's the same day because we see
in the
him
manga.
cleaning up. Oh, okay, never mind.
In the manga, she like
It's
the
very
day
clear.
that we see her.
Okay.
It's sort of ambiguous, like what day it is, but like I think she definitely doesn't bring the book with her, at least.
Okay.
Like they don't do the we bump into each other and the book like flies out, and yeah, that doesn't happen. But that was since they change up things every once in a while, like minor plot points for you know continuity's sake to like keep it flowing. I kind of expected that to happen.
All right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it continues to be just sort of a delightful Saturday morning cartoon. We get to see Alice and Clara fucking argue over who's Aruma's best friend. Clara rolls herself up in a fucking red carpet and tries to beat the shit out of Alice with her carpet body.
That was
It's
just
just
so
such a
fucking
weird
stupid.
thing.
I feel like she would be Alex's favorite character.
Absolutely. When she created her fucking abomination, shoves it in her shirt, and then it teleports across the room. Oh my
I think
god.
that's his like ability, right? Just steal shit, even if he
Yeah.
doesn't mean to. Okay.
Anything that people just want to have, his thing is just steal shit. So I guess he steals the plant. I love that it like grows some sort of like real thing at the top. Like it had a bird head that was crying, and then it turns into like a bear that's juggling.
I didn't notice that part. I didn't. I noticed the little bird.
Yeah. Well, after Jazz steals it, we see like another close up of it. It's a bear that's like juggling three
Oh
balls.
my.
It's super fucking weird. I love that plant. Um,
Well, yeah, that's Aruma, our Saturday morning cartoon.
yeah. So we'll get to see more of the president next episode, and we'll see if Aruma can keep the fact that he's a human under wraps, or if his secret's going to come out immediately to the president.
How's our Aruma gonna get out of this bind? Find out next episode. And so we come to our weekly segment. What are we gonna sell out to today?
What are we going to sell out to today?
I'm gonna sell out
Uh,
the Power Rangers because I'm currently
Alright.
making a Megazord themed commander deck. Go Power Rangers.
I guess since I have nothing else to sell out to for me, I will sell out to fuck, what's its name? Oko Thief, whatever.
Oh my god, that fucking
Which
card.
Yeah, a planeswalker that is currently consuming the meta of the Magic the Gathering Mythic Championships. So I'm gonna sell it to you, Oko. And also by extension, Wizards. How about you just go ahead and push the ban date up to like tomorrow and just ban the card already? Like the top 8 decks for the most recent Mythic
Yeah,
Championships
they're
are
all codex.
yeah, 6 of them are Oko decks. One of them is a Selesnya deck being run by a pro who refuses to play an Oko deck on purpose. And one of them is just another guy playing I forget what. I think it's a Simic or a Selesnya deck.
Anyways,
But
green, real strong right now in standard.
and Mountains super underpowered. Literally 0 representation in the top 8 decks for Mountains. So yeah, go ahead and just ban the card already, Wizards of the Coast. You're literally not doing yourself a favor right now. Nobody likes this. So yeah, shout out to you, Oko, for being like probably one of the worst things to come out in Magic the Gathering in recent history.
Right now, it is the most expensive standard card.
Yeah,
Like,
which is amazing because it's gonna get banned in like a couple weeks.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, like even like the overpowered cards of yesteryear didn't reach Oko's like dollar limit. Although it has to be with the fact that Magic the Gathering is now more not accessible but more popular.
Hmm.
So there's that too, and more people
There's
want
that
it.
too, but it's the fact that like Oko is so
Also, it's
meta
just
defining.
also really strong everywhere else, not just standard.
Yeah, and it beats every other deck to such an extent that of the top 8 decks, some of them are intentionally in their starting main deck running green and black hate cards. Like you're not even sideboarding them and like bringing them in when you're into one of those matchups. You just main deck them from the start because you know you're just going to play into Oko decks.
Well, yeah, just have green hate always.
Oh god.
We'll see how that. I wonder what's gonna happen now. I wonder how this will affect the new Theros set that's coming out.
Hopefully they like play tested better. I mean, they straight up came out and said like, "Oh yeah, we didn't expect Oko's like turn creatures and artifacts into deer tokens to be as strong as it was." And it's like, okay, but you do have a playtest department. Like that's what they're there for. They should be testing stuff like this. But whatever, we'll see.
So yeah, I guess that ends tonight's anime book club.
Yeah. Uh, thank you for being here, our lovely audience of Zero. You continue to amaze and astound me that you don't tune in every week, despite the fact that we do nothing to market ourselves.
This is also true. So the anime book club Twitter is following manga decks and has no tweets.
Yeah.
So there's that.
People should look more at who is following manga decks and then just look to see if they happen to have podcasts,
I don't.
obviously.
I don't even have it downloaded on my phone. Well, anyways, yeah. Have a good night.
See you later, audience. More like see you never.